Fridge, Sharda University, and NECC.
Hello and a very good evening. Once again, we are forced to talk about what's been happening in the state of West Bengal. You know, one can say that this is just a panchayat poll, what's the big deal? But the big deal, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that violence has been normalized in the state of Bengal. What's even worse is that someone who's the head of the state right now, who doubles up as the home minister, instead of taking any responsibility, is wanting to point fingers almost at everyone else. Mamata Banerjee says the BJP, the ISF, the left, everyone are responsible for everything that's happened so far. But we deep dive into that subject in just a moment, and we are asking who's stoking the fire. Let's get kick-started with the headlines first up. Mamata Banerjee is attacking the central forces, says that they killed people in Setal Kulchi. Bags full of crude bombs and explosives are also found. Is this not evidence enough for the police? So in this particular shot that was just on air, remember, you have seen at least 7 images of crude bombs. We've seen arson, we've seen lathi charge, we've seen these crude bombs that have been hurt. We've seen people who've died, we've seen people who've been injured. We've seen netas completely playing politics. But no one is taking responsibility. That's the image I'm talking about, crude bombs that otherwise, remember, are made in different parts of West Bengal. These are the 7 crude bombs that the police has recovered. And the question we are asking, who does not want a peaceful panchayat polls? Now, panchayat polls, remember, have a checkered history in the state of West Bengal. Whether it was the rule of the left, whether it's the rule of the Mamata Banerjee government now that is into its 3rd term, absolutely nothing has changed. But does Mamata Banerjee even wants to change anything? Or she is pretty happy right now because she wants to be seen as someone who's going to be looking at the big seat in Delhi. Before the big opposition meeting that happens on the 23rd, Mamata Banerjee right now, remember, is not able to handle this crisis in the state of Bengal. The BJP says Bengal is burning. Not just that. They also say that all the violence that you have seen, and we'll put out those images also in just a moment, they say all this is the handiwork of the Trinamool Congress. But how did Mamata respond? Mamata said, don't ask us questions. We are not responsible for anything that's happened. She says our cadre is only retaliating. Now look at these men that you see on your screens. A lot of them are armed with stones, with lathis. You will not see the police anywhere trying to control the situation. Tear gas shells also found by the cops. Now, central forces will be stationed all throughout West Bengal when polling happens, but Mamata Banerjee has a problem even with the central forces. Now, clearly someone has to answer for what's going on in the state of West Bengal. Who is stoking the fire? Is it the BJP, as Mamata alleges? Is it the Trinamool Congress, as the BJP is alleging? There is another third player here, that is the ISF, the Indian Secular Front. That Mamata says today is acting as a front for the BJP, and that is creating this violence. But like I said, the responsibility and the buck needs to stop with the sitting chief minister. So before we take those questions to our panel of guests that will just join us in a moment, let's quickly play out what's happened in the last 24 hours. In the run-up to the panchayat polls, there is unabated violence and 0 answers.
Violence, arson. There's mayhem all over. This is the current situation of West Bengal just days ahead of Panchayat polls in the state. The state chief minister is seen targeting opposition over the violence.
আর আজকে তোমরা বলছো বাংলায় শান্তি নেই। কিসের শান্তি? সিপিএম এর আমলে কোন শান্তি ছিল? শ্মশানের শান্তি। কংগ্রেস অনেক রাজ্য চালিয়েছো, সিপিএম এর সবচেয়ে বড় দোসর আর বিজেপির বড় দোসর, আর পার্লামেন্টে আমাদের সাহায্য চাও, আমরা করবো তাও বিজেপির বিরুদ্ধে, কিন্তু মনে রেখো বাংলায় সিপিএম এর সাথে ঘর করে আমাদের কাছে বাংলায় সাহায্য।
And Bengal governor has said that there will be zero tolerance to violence.
I can assure the people of Bengal, violence will be the first victim in this election. Violence should die a silent death. Violence will be encountered by silence, in the sense those perpetrators of violence will be silenced in a permanent way under the constitution, under the law of the land.
Is the situation set to escalate in the run-up to elections? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And if you think, ladies and gentlemen, that all this is just limited to a panchayat poll, you're horribly wrong, because Bengal has seen a cycle of political violence. And also, if you just think that these are images of people, capturing arson, capturing crude bombs, again, you're wrong, because people are dying. There are people who are losing their lives. Trinamool says it's our karyakartas. The BJP is also pointing fingers. But the point is, can you have a free and fair poll like this? That's a question I think that all parties today need to answer. We have Monojit, who's going to be batting for the Trinamool Congress. He's a political analyst on the broadcast, along with Rohan Somen Mitra, who's also a political analyst with us. We also do have Shazia Ilmi, national spokesperson of the BJP. Priyanka Tibrewal, who's an advocate, and she understands the state of West Bengal far better than all of us, at least. I think Monojit and Priyanka, both natives of the state of Bengal, and they should be really concerned about what's going on in Bengal right now. Monojit, are you concerned? Is this how democracy functions in Bengal? Is this the bomb model of Bengal that Mamata Banerjee should be very, very proud about?
Now, how should democracy function in Bengal? You take the help of the state machinery like CSF and to kill people in broad daylight? That's what you wanted? What happened on 10th April 2021 when 4 persons were gunned down in front of others in broad daylight for no fault of their own? Till date, they did not get justice. I mean, the BJP and their friends in CPIM, Congress, and this Islamic fundamentalist party, whatever the name that they have chosen, they have made it a point to create this narrative of violence, to instigate people, while ironically,
It's a narrative.
TMC is in the
Did
receiving
you just
end.
use the word narrative
TMC
or
is in the
violence?
receiving
So,
end.
you
The
know,
narrative-
I must tell our
narrative
viewers
is-
what
yes,
a narrative
I tell
will
you,
mean
I tell
here.
you why.
Narrative
I tell
means
you
that
why.
there is
I
no
tell you.
violence. Everything is fine. Everything is
I tell you
hunky-dory,
why.
Monojit.
No, the
People are not
narrative
dying.
about-
Are we lying?
No.
Crude
Hey, hang
bombs
on.
are not
Can
being
I-
found. Do you think we are lying? These pictures are lying,
Dipti,
Monojit?
see, if you are on a fine wicket, why are you so scared of my words? Can I even speak? The narrative means that
Why should
every
I be
time
scared? You should be
you
scared
are
today. I'm
creating-
worried.
No, because you're
Monojit,
muffling my voice.
this is, I think,
I'm
for the
also
third time
extremely
this
worried.
week that we
I'm
here on the
also
burning question
extremely
had to
worried.
debate the state of West Bengal and the
I
unabated
tell you.
political violence.
No,
Mamata
you
Banerjee
are-
today,
you-
instead of saying that, something
don't
like this
debate,
should not
madam.
happen,
You
we'll
only
have a
speak.
huge
You don't
crackdown, we'll
debate.
ensure that there is
You
no
only
violence
speak
in the
your
run-up to
mind
the
out.
panchayat
You don't
polls.
debate,
She is
madam.
giving lectures to the
Very-
Congress. Rohan, have you heard that lecture from Mamata Banerjee? She says if you team up with the left, which the Congress has done in Bengal, she says forget about our support. She's more concerned about what happens in 2024, forgetting what's happening in Bengal right now, Rohan.
No, Deepti, let's just put it here. I heard the CM statement today, and my point is, if you go back in history, the Trinamool was partners with the BJP in 1998, in 2001, and in 2004. So in politics, in Indian politics, parties have changed alliance. They have formed different alliances. The Congress and the Trinamool were in alliance together in 2009 and in 2011. And that's how they defeated the CPM. And that's how the 34 years of CPM rule was won. Coming back to today's point, so what happened under the CPM cannot be justified by saying that was bad and today this is all right, because this is not enough violence. Any kind of violence, any loss of life should be stopped, and the responsibility and the accountability has to lie with the state government and the police. There is no two ways about it. Any life, any loss of lives, you can say that what happened under the 34 years of CPM was horrible.
Rohan,
of course it was horrible.
let's cut the chase. Before I go to Shazi and Priyanka, can you say this on the show tonight that Mamata Banerjee needs to answer for the political violence in Bengal? Can you say that?
I just said that. I just said that what happened in 2000 till 2011 cannot justify what's happening right now. And as if she said that the Congress and the CPM has come together, yes, they have come together. They came together in 2016. They came together in 2021. Yes, they lost, but that doesn't mean that in the future they cannot come together and cannot win again. The point is today the administration needs to protect people, needs to help the people who want to stand in election. A democracy demands an
Why
election,
can't you name
and you
Mamata
must
Banerjee,
allow an
Rohan?
election.
What are you scared of? Why can't you name Mamata Banerjee? Can we have free and fair polls like this under, such a garb of political violence in Bengal?
It is she is a CM. She needs to ensure that there is a fair election. That's what I just said. I'm not saying that anybody else needs to be answerable, because the TMC wins because of Mamata Banerjee, and she is the final person. The whole of Bengal looks at her and votes for the TMC. The panchayat level, there is nobody the people really care for. If the TMC ever wins the election, it is because of Mamata Banerjee. So the buck stops with Mamata Banerjee, nobody else.
And also because of this violence, will you say that? Will you say that, Rohan? Before I go to both Shazi and Priyanka who want to come in here, can you say that the TMC wins largely because of such kind of violence? In the last panchayat elections, 34% of the seats were won uncontested, Monojit. That clearly is, that clearly is no crown of democracy for you. How do you know he doesn't want to say that? Mamata Banerjee has said that in as many terms. But it's interesting today that you are defending the Congress. Mamata Banerjee is giving a warning to the Congress. But Shazia, the BJP has been saying that Bengal is burning and the person responsible is Mamata Banerjee. Now Mamata Banerjee says we are not responsible. Mamata says that the Indian Secular Front is the front for the BJP. You are putting in money in the ISF and the ISF is leading to such violence. Shazia.
So when BJP says that Bengal is burning, do you know that is the truth? Because you see that. You ask anybody who lives in the state of West Bengal as to how sick and absolutely frustrated they are with the killing fields. you know, this is one state which has seen the highest. Somebody's going on speaking. I don't know who that person is, but clearly doesn't know when to be quiet and answer grave charges of political violence.
Let's allow both
Clearly,
of them to
Mamata
at least put on
Banerjee
their
has
opening
failed.
comments, and then you can rebut
Mamata
that.
Banerjee has failed.
You're not allowing me to rebut.
The great dictator of West Bengal has unleashed a spree of violence, not just once but again and again, and this is, according to her, the rule of law. The rule of law is breaking the law. There's a complete breakdown of law and order. You see, Monojit Mandal talks about narrative of violence. Violence is violence. I'm talking about cold, cruel violence with guns, crude bombs, lathis, sticks, and murder of people, men and women, and rapes.
You and your party.
This is violence.
Party men are using
and
them.
who is responsible? The chief minister who has been at the helm of affairs.
Everyone
And
knows
a people of West Bengal must rebel against this tyrant, this cruel dictator. They must rebel. They should not live in a state of fear. Even the political analysts here is scared. It's scary because there's Gunda-gardi that runs. There's Gunda-gardi that runs the state. And people are scared because they're silenced, raped, murdered, mutilated, molested into silence and acquiescence. And this is for everybody to see.
But you know, Monojit, you say Gunda-gardi is the BJP's DNA, but can you tell me who's ruling the state of Bengal right now? Who's in charge of Bengal?
This
Who's in charge of Bengal?
is being parted.
Just words.
I tell you.
That's all you have. Lies and lies. People are seeing this.
About morality, na?
What have you done to West Bengal? People of West Bengal must rebel against this dictator. There has to be democracy. Let's bring democracy to West Bengal. Democracy now. डर लगता है लोगों को. ये गुंडागर्दी देखिए.
The debate today, Monojit, just in case you are not aware, is only and only on Bengal. It is not right now any other issue. If you don't find answers today to these images and to the figures that are being thrown out, you should be worried. Priyanka, you're also an advocate. Now tell me something. You have the government in Bengal, Priyanka, that has put in a review petition. Why? Because they don't want central forces to be deployed in Bengal.
Don't create this melodrama.
Yes, let Priyanka also come in. Yes, Priyanka.
Do not.
Because Mamata says, Monojit, Priyanka hasn't spoken yet. Please allow her to make her point. Priyanka, Mamata Banerjee says that what can central forces do? She says, look at what's happening in Manipur. You have stationed central forces there. And she says you're not able to control that violence.
Is Mamata Banerjee the chief minister of Manipur? Did the people of Manipur vote for her? No, absolutely not. She goes on to the extent of making statements before the honorable court and saying, you know, that the PILs filed by people, they're absolutely vague. The governments are vague. But even then, the High Court ordered for central forces. You know why? The reason being, Mr. Monojit Mandal, when you started speaking, you said that innocent people killed. No innocent were killed. It was Mamata Banerjee who, before the elections of 2021, provoked people and said that when CISF comes, attack them. That is what happened. The goons of TMC attacked. They tried to snatch weapons at Sitalkuchi, and then they had to face the consequences. This is what happened. Now you see again, this woman, Mamata Banerjee, who believes only in violence, has once again today provoked the people of West Bengal, asking the goons to attack the CISF when they come. So this is what happens when a chief minister herself provokes people. This is what will happen. People are killing each other. You see, yesterday only 2 people were shot dead.
Monojit, you know, there is some bit of merit in the argument both Shazia and Priyanka have made. Monojit, look at that impartially. You know, when there was a left rule in the state of Bengal, you said the left is to be blamed for all the violence. You said that they are the real gundas. Then ideally, under the TMC, things should have changed. We shouldn't have seen such political violence. But this is the third term of Mamata Banerjee. And even today, she is looking, you know, to project herself as a victim.
How will things change if you do not allow others to speak? 231,000
You are the only one
people
who's
have
speaking.
filed nominations.
You are the only one who is yelling.
Look who's
You
talking.
are allowing others to
Monaji,
speak.
Monaji,
Do you think this kind of
interestingly,
behavior
look at
we will
you.
allow you to speak? Do you think we will allow you to speak? When we were speaking, you were barking. Now we will not allow you to speak. Carry on. How can you
Monaji,
speak?
why are you
Carry on.
complaining so much? You're ruling the state of West Bengal. Mamata Banerjee is a three-term chief minister. She's the home minister. Why are you complaining?
They have to people. 231,000 people have filed nominations, highest in the country so far in such elections. 231,000. Maximum number of nominations are filed by the opposition people. Only in 3 places, violence have been reported, and that is perpetrated by these people, Malda, Murshidabad and Bhangar. And please,
No,
take
you are
note
lying.
See,
of
that
these
is
3
the problem,
places.
Monaji.
Where
I have
all
a
these
strong
3
objection to that kind of a comment. You're forgetting, just the other day, your member of parliament, Saugata Roy, said, so what, just one person has died. I mean, can you tell me how many people need to die for the Trinamool Congress and for Mamata Banerjee to realize that this is something not acceptable, Monaji? I mean, are you going to be comparing how many people died in the left rule versus how many people are dying in Mamata Banerjee's rule because it's okay for people to die?
Being pulled by the court so many times for spreading violence, your skin has become so fat that it doesn't affect you.
These vehicles were touched by the ISF goon. In fact, the ISF MLA out there, he is a
ISF
confirmed
goons.
criminal.
ISF goons, what is your government doing then? Why didn't you catch the goons? Law and order is a state subject. You are the government. Why don't you catch them? Why don't you catch them? That means your government is not capable of sitting on the chair. When you can't stop violence in a state, you are not responsible. You are not responsible to sit on that chair.
Monaji, the simple question is, Rohan, and let's give the last word to Rohan because we need to wrap up. Monaji, you know, you say the BJP is to be blamed. Then catch those people who are responsible for this violence. No.
BJP has not even fielded a single
Have you arrested such people, Rohan? What is Mamata Banerjee doing according to you, Rohan? You know, you are expected to be an ally of Mamata Banerjee. All of you are going to be meeting in Patna in the next 1 week. This, even as Bengal has been burning, does this issue not bother the Congress at all? Are you willing to work with Mamata Banerjee at a point like this?
Let me just give me 30 seconds. I'm just saying, even in 2021, the Delhi media keeps focusing that Bengal is a BJP versus Trinamool story. Well, it's not. Coming back to what the BJP spokesperson she was saying about Trinamool being violent and everything. In 2018, when the Panchayat elections happened, it was much more violent than what has happened in 2023. One of the main architects of that violence was Mr. Shubhendu Adhikari, who today is in the BJP, who today is the leader of the opposition.
Yes.
Why did the
Then what is
BJP
the
take somebody
government
like
doing,
them?
sir?
Why did they take them then?
Do
Why
not
did they
give
take that
vague
person?
statements.
So you
point
are
is-
standing with Mamata Banerjee today. You're standing with Mamata
I'm not
Banerjee, who's
giving
giving a
over
warning to the
I'm not
Congress.
giving over
But
you.
clearly you're looking at the
Let me
big
make my
picture.
point. The
For
point
you
is
also, this violence is
the
okay then. No,
opposition
Rohan,
is
you
going to meet
normalize
in
such kind of a
Patna.
violence when you continue to ask no questions of Mamata Banerjee
Nobody is
and continue to
defending
say
any
all
of
this
their
is
rights.
politically
But you
motivated and
take
let's blame the
somebody from
BJP.
the
But the
other
point is, where are the arrests?
Both the Congress
that's
and
the point.
TMC
That's the easiest thing to do, Shazia, that blame someone. Blame someone. Okay, just 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds to Shazia. Shazia, can we have a free and fair election like this? What will the BJP do next?
You know, the fact of the matter is administration, law and order, controlling unlawful elements, no matter which party they come from, no matter who has defected from where and what not.
Okay.
What is she doing as the CM of the state? The state is burning and it's been going on for a while. Poll-related violence has gone up compared to the list Panchayat has gone down. Why is she there? Is she not capable of being a chief minister? Why is she a chief minister? She should resign. She should resign. Say, I'm incapable.
All right,
I'm incapable.
I think a lot of questions that have been raised, but a lot of them are unanswered. Who's stoking this fire? Who benefits from this fire? We'll wait and see how the story moves from here. Shazia, Priyanka and both gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us right now on that big story that will be our focus all through the next many days. But also time for us, before we head into a quick break, there is a quick breaking update coming in right now. Let's get you more details of a shocking case of murder that has emerged from the Doda district in Jammu and Kashmir. The accused, Bhairo Singh, murders a man during a Facebook Live over alleged personal enmity. Gursimran is joining us live right now. Gursimran, this is a horrific story that you're telling us more about. Why don't you get us the details? What do we know about it so far?
See, this is a murder, gruesome murder on the Facebook Live that has taken place in the Doda district. Now the police has formed more than 25 teams to nab the accused Bhairo Singh. The Bhairo Singh did a Facebook Live, and when he saw
Okay, I think we've just lost that line with Gursimran, but he's getting us more details of that big story. We head into a break right now. On the other side, more details of this and also the trending burning question coming up. Don't go anywhere.
The top-ranked Amity BTech attracts some of the most brilliant students of India who get global exposure at the 5-week study abroad program at Amity's global campuses at no additional tuition fee. To apply, visit amity.edu.
They're going to try and come back once again. Here, sir. Sir, this is the back entry. This is the back entrance of Mr. Chidambaram. Chidambaram has been arrested right now. That's me, Chidambaram, right now. He's been arrested. On the screen, that's Mr. Chidambaram. Do you have to say?
Please. Mr. Charles, what's lies ahead? Mr. Charles, what's lies ahead for you now? Mr. Charles, are you really think the crowd's going to say for you?
Mr. Malia, barrack number 12, jail conditions are ready according to Team India. Is that not fine according to the jail? Consistently been asking you only one question. Mr. Malia, why did you escape in 2015? Why did you walk out? Why did you rush out of India? Mr. Malia, why are the questions bothering you when I'm not getting a single answer? Just answer one question, sir.
Men, women, they are marching towards the road. Though some clashes are also witnessed here at the Sheikhpura road. See the tear smoke shells being used by the Jammu and Kashmir police. Now we can see also that the protesters are not crossing the line.
आज जब अपने उन शहीदों को याद करते हैं तो उसके साथ साथ जवानों की भी बात करना जरूरी है जो अभी भी ग्राउंड पर तैनात है। मैं चाहूंगी एक बार माँ भारती को याद करके एक नारा दे दे जो लोगों के दिलों तक पहुंचेगा। एक बार भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय, भारत माता की जय।
सिद्धार्थ 8 तारीख को हार्ड ड्राइव से डेटा डिलीट हुआ था। रिपब्लिक पूछ रहा है सिद्धार्थ, मैं पूछ रहा हूँ 8 तारीख को हार्ड ड्राइव से डेटा डिलीट हुआ था। डेटा डिलीट हुआ था हार्ड ड्राइव से, आपने बताया है क्या था डेटा? 8 हार्ड ड्राइव का डेटा डिलीट हुआ था या नहीं?
Investigation reached. So what is the update? When is the station master
sir? Has he been questioned? What went wrong, sir? Who's to be held responsible? The victims' families are seeking answers, sir. So how far has the investigation reached? So you'll have to answer, sir.
Raise the issue of institutions. Why this?
Republic TV can ask any number of questions. I'm not going to be.
So, but Mr. Rahul Gandhi raised the issue of institutions. Rahul, would you take a couple of questions on ED? Rahul, you can't push us around. मैं किसान की बात करना गरीबों की। ठीक है, मैं किसान की पूछता हूँ, आप पूछने दीजिए। मैं किसान की पूछता हूँ, पूछने दीजिए। मैं पूछता हूँ, बेरोजगारी की बात पूछने दीजिए।
This gentleman who has entered my house illegally.
भारत के लोगों की जीत है। अंदर, अंदर।
लालू जी, आपके शहाबुद्दीन से क्या रिश्ते हैं?
अरे तुम बराबर यही सवाल पूछते हो। शहाबुद्दीन हमारे पार्टी में थे, जेल में है।
बातें होती हैं जेल में?
कैसे बात होगी जेल से?
हाँ, टेप चला
तुम्हारे पास होगा टेप।
हाँ, टेप है, वो चलाया भी है।
चलाते रहो, हरिगा भजन गाते रहो।
There you can see Lalu Prasad Yadav losing his cool.
Trending burning question powered by Reva University and NECC.
Welcome back, viewers, to this section of the trending burning question. The Modi government has riled the Congress party again in a special meeting of the Nehru Memorial Museum and Library Society, which was presided over by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in his capacity as Vice President of the society. A resolution has been passed to drop the name of Nehru Memorial Museum and to change it to Prime Minister's Museum and Library Society, following which the Executive Council tabled a proposal to change the name, which was welcomed by all 29 members of the society present and voting. But Congress has condemned this name change, claiming this a vengeance by the BJP, while the central government in response described why it's important to change the name. For now, a big face-off has erupted, and it's essentially political. The question remains, what's wrong in honoring all former prime ministers or sitting prime ministers of India? Take a look at this report, and then I come back to discuss.
A big face-off has erupted over Nehru Memorial Museum name change. It was in a special meeting of the NMML presided over by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. The resolution has been passed to drop the name Nehru Memorial Museum and change it to Prime Minister's Museum.
In 2022, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya, and now the Nehru Memorial Museum and Library will now be known as Prime Minister's Museum and Library. This change has been welcomed by all the members and it will be implemented as immediate effect.
The proposal was welcomed by all 29 members of the NMML society. But Congress seemed to be unhappy.
He is not only the Prime Minister, moreover, he is a library. And Nehruji, it suits to his intellects, to his career, to his knowledge. In what way it suits to Modi ji, whose degree is not even authentic?
तो पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू अजर थे, अमर हैं, अमर रहेंगे। परंतु आप कुछ भी कर लो, आप लाख कोशिश कर लो, आप नेहरू के बराबर नहीं खड़े हो पा रहे हो, इसलिए ये सतही राजनीति करते हैं।
Now, as Kong called this move vengeance by BJP, the BJP says that it's time to look beyond dynasty politics. But why the outrage when all the Prime Ministers get their due in the new library? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
All right, the Congress party says Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru Amar hain aur Amar rahenge. No disputing that fact, but the point is whether other Prime Ministers should also get their space under the sun, and if it has to be in central Delhi, and if there is a space available in the erstwhile Teen Murti Bhavan, why not? Joining me to discuss, Shazia Ilmi, national spokesperson of the BJP, live from Delhi. Also joining us, Desh Ratan Nigam, advocate, Supreme Court, live from Delhi, defending the government. On the other side, to take the position of the Congress party, Rohan Somen Mitra, political analyst, joins us live from Kolkata. And I want to begin with Dr. Sumant C. Raman, political analyst, leads towards the Congress, live from Chennai. Mr. Raman, yesterday your argument was that it's okay if name of Savarkar and Hedgewar is completely removed from textbooks in Karnataka. Today you are saying, oh, why remove the name of Nehru? Even as this is done to accommodate all other prime ministers. Do you see some double standards in your position in the last 24 hours, Mr. Raman?
No. I don't see any double standards at all. The names of Hedgewar and Savarkar were added by the previous government in order to support their ideological position, and therefore it was removed. The second very important point, as far as Jawaharlal Nehru is concerned, he clearly was the architect of modern India, and the idea is not so much to call it a Prime Minister's Museum. They could easily have called it Nehru's, Prime Ministerial Museum or something like that without removing the Nehru tag to it. The idea was to remove the tag, to remove the name Nehru. But I think, you see, at the end of the day, those who cannot create history want to erase it. So that's okay. I mean, it's not going to diminish the greatness of Jawaharlal Nehru. And certainly, everybody knows that had the government wanted, they could easily have identified an alternate place in Delhi and built a wonderful museum honoring all the prime ministers. But the purpose appears to have been to remove the name of Nehru at all costs. And well, at the moment, they are the winners, so they have the ability to do that. I mean, tomorrow, even if they take a government diktat saying Nehru's name must be removed from everything, they are in power, so they can do it. But I think there is something called the magnanimity of a great leader. And that is something that we are not seeing at all. So therefore, you can draw your own inferences from that. My point very clearly is, look,
Shazia,
this was specifically intended to be a Nehru memorial, and it was Lal Bahadur Shastri who first said, let this place be a Nehru memorial, and later on it was Indira Gandhi who also acquiesced, and this place became a Nehru memorial. By the way, Anand Bhavan in 1970 in Allahabad was donated to the government of India by Mrs. Indira Gandhi. So let's be very clear. This is a family that has done so much for this country.
Why?
Two of them have laid down their lives.
Sumana, first of all, can I come in?
One second.
Yeah, can I come
in? Family is the key word.
1 minute.
But Sumant Raman also says that you are being petty.
Architect.
Let's get everyone involved. Sumant Raman, you made your point, and I'm taking your point across to Shazia because she's there to defend the government and the party. Shazia, is it pettiness?
One sentence. Those who cannot create history.
So while it is Suman's raison d'etre, can I come in, please, Suman? Are you done? Okay, thank you very much. While it is Sumanji and many other, I don't even want to say sycophants, people who genuinely love Nehruji, while it is the raison d'etre to deify Nehru ji, Pandit Nehru ji, don't you think that all other prime ministers who have served our nation, including those of the Congress party coming from the party as Rajiv Gandhi ji and Indira Gandhi ji, should be commemorated too? While the Prime Minister Nehru ji's all the memorabilia related to him and all the artifacts and memory related to him are are not just documented there but actually added in terms of collection. So there is an addition in terms of collection of Nehruji's belongings and all that he stood for.
Why not
Isn't it
build
a
a separate
pleasure and
memorial
joy to see
to all
Lal
Prime
Bahadur
Ministers?
Shastri? Lal Bahadur Shastri.
I'll come to
Why?
that, Sumant Raman, hold
But
on,
why
I'll come
not?
to that.
Why not?
I'll come to
Why?
that.
But why do you have to take
why
away
should we build the second memorial
those-
when
those
there
who
is
are
a
not
beautiful
able to
place
build
in the center?
institutions?
Hold on,
Why?
hold on, hold
It's
on.
not being
Sumant
taken
Raman,
away. It is not being taken away. It is being enhanced. Suman, we can't have this slanging match. I'm answering each one of your questions.
No,
So
no, you're
while
not answering
Rajiv
my
Gandhi,
question. Why can't
Indira
it be
Gandhi,
built somewhere
H.D.
else?
Devegowda, all are being venerated. All are being venerated, and their legacies are being preserved and added. There is a complete modernization. The footfall has
Yes.
gone up. The taxpayers are not paying
Yes.
for this for the first time. Why should taxpayers pay for your sycophancy? Is the question. Why should other Indians be deprived
Yes.
to see
Okay.
what other prime ministers have
Shazia,
contributed to?
you
in
have
our
made your
country?
opening remarks, you have made your
Including
point,
Rajiv
you
Gandhi,
responded to
including
Sumant
Devegowda,
Raman.
including Mr.
Let me
Devegowda.
answer Sumant Raman. I'll come to.
You tell me. Why should
No, 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 no,
I
no,
don't
no,
want to
no.
subsidize
I'll answer your question.
sycophancy.
So, Shazia, hold on.
Why can't it
I
be
want to know
built
about all my
elsewhere?
prime ministers.
Shazia, hold on.
Certainly.
Sumant Raman,
certainly, I
don't
do.
monopolize the
Exactly,
conversation,
because-
please.
Why
Build it
exactly?
somewhere else.
You build it,
Build
Suman.
one.
Suman, give up your land.
Build.
Guman Congress party
No, why,
can
why,
have
why?
a
Sumant
memorial
Raman,
in
Sumant Raman,
Nehruji's
Sumant
name.
Raman, I have.
Your name, if you want.
Sumant Raman,
It's
hold
up
on.
to you,
Sumant
your
Raman, hold
choice.
on. Shazia, now hold on.
It's a
I have to
private-
take this first.
it's a
Sumant Raman, hold on.
choice.
Create
Why don't you
institutions
contribute?
want-
I
It's your
want
choice.
Deshratan Nigam and no,
That's
I
what
want
I'm saying. Why don't you give up
Deshratan
your
Nigam and
private
Rohan
land?
Somen
And I'm
Mitra on
sure
air.
Congress party is enough
Shazia,
to
okay,
create that.
we
Why can't
will
you have
discuss
something
that.
for
You
all
got
the
your
prime
opening
ministers?
comments. For God's sake, let others also come in. Rohan Somen Mitra, in principle, what's wrong if contributions of other prime ministers, a total 17 of them, including the incumbent Narendra Modi, in nation building, in India's nation building project, is acknowledged and showcased in the heart of Delhi? Do you not agree with this principle? Do you find any problem with this principle, Rohan Somen Mitra?
No. Let me answer your question here.
Quickly.
If you change somebody's
I'm
name,
just asking a
if
question.
you
Quickly
change-
answer. Do you agree with the principle or not? I'll come to whether Nehru
I
Memorial
don't,
can
I
be the
don't.
place or not later.
I don't.
Do you
Absolutely
agree with the
don't,
principle
because
or not?
I do not. I think this is an insult.
You don't
It's a-
agree
it's
with
a-
the
it's a
principle that
political
other prime
vendetta.
ministers should get their share under the sun? Should get their space under the sun? Are you
I
saying
was
that?
coming to that. After okay, so when Mr. Vajpayee was the prime
No,
minister
yes or no?
of India,
I have a
why
list
didn't
of
he take
questions
this
for you,
step?
then you get the opening
What
remarks.
took Mr.
Do
Modi
you agree
9
with the
years
principle that, do you agree or not with the principle that other prime ministers should also get
Every
their
prime minister
space
of
under the
India
sun?
should be honored. There's no denying that every prime minister of India is honored, no matter which
You
political
agree with the
family
principle,
they
right?
come from.
Now my next question is why? My next question is why was this not done earlier? Why it had to wait till 2017 or 18 when Prime Minister Narendra Modi thought of it? Why was it not done earlier?
Why was it not done earlier? This question could go back to Mr. Vajpayee's era as well. Coming back to your point, let me answer your question. This was Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru's residence for 16 years. He did not name this after himself. It was the president.
And before that, it was the residence of a military officer of the British government,
and so
reporting to His Majesty or Her Majesty in London. What's big deal about that?
The way it was. If you want to honor other prime ministers, you should honor other prime ministers. Honor Mr. I.K. Gujral, honor Mr. H.K. Devegowda, honor everyone. But why would you
now you agree
insult
with the
somebody?
principle?
Why would you insult a ideology, insult a party, and bring in a name change just to accommodate everyone else? As Suman said, bring in a new place. Let's have a new place. Let's do, because the Prime Minister just built a whole new parliament. He cannot open a new museum.
Okay, you made your point. Deshratan Nigam, essentially, so far as the Congress view is, they think that this is an insult of the first Prime Minister of the country. And that's why this should not have been done. As Sumant Raman says, that you could have found other place for a Prime Minister's museum, but Nehru Memorial and the Nehru residence should have been left just like that. Because removing Nehru's name amounts to insult of the family, the first family of the Congress party, to which the Congress supporters have strong sentiments for. Which, by the way, I don't understand. Sumant Raman, the Prime Minister's Museum also has sections completely dedicated to Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi, by the way. If you think about the family, it's not excluded. They are there. But the question is to Deshratan Nigam. Is it an insult, Deshratan Nigam?
Defending the family. We are defending the first Prime Minister of India, independent India, who has done so much for this country, who lived in that house for 16 years.
Okay, so is this an insult of the first Prime Minister of India, Deshratan Nigam?
Oh, certainly not. In fact, this dynastic entitlement and being the first family of the country does not cut ice in a democracy. It can do in a dictatorship, but not in a democracy where every prime minister is getting its due. How many people now remember Gulzari Lal Nanda was twice the prime minister of this country? He's been forgotten, obliterated from the pages of history, and he was a congressman. Please remember that. Charan Singh, nobody remembers today. H.D. Devagowda, people do remember because Modi ji has given a lot of importance to him. And what about I.K. Gujral? Where are they? And they themselves obliterated the legacy of P.V. Narasimha Rao. He was not given a place in Delhi for a proper burial. Please remember that. And you see the entire country has been named after members of the Nehru family. You start from Indira Gandhi International Airport in Delhi, you land up in Rajiv Gandhi Airport in some city. So this is how they have taken over the legacy where everybody contributed towards nation building. So what we have to do today is to give due recognition to each and every person. Sardar Patel was obliterated. Netaji Subhash Bose, nothing was done. Today those icons are being recognized and their contribution are being recognized. But for them, only Nehru's family is the family. That dynastic entitlement that does not hold in democracy. Never.
Yes,
with all due respect,
and Deshratan Nigam, you made a very valid point.
Allow me 10 seconds.
Sumant Raman, I'm coming to you.
None of the other members.
Abhishek, allow me 10 seconds.
Rohan, I'll come to you. Rohan, I'll come to you. You will get your point. We have to cover a lot of arguments. Rohan, hold on. Deshratan Nigam, you made your point. Let me. The issue that you raised.
Allow me 10 seconds.
I will. See. I will. Rohan, I will. I have to structure it. Sumant Raman and Rohan. I am addressing this to both of you. At the time of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru himself, when Sardar Patel passed away, he was sent to Mumbai. No space in Delhi. From that time to the manner in which last journey of Pamulparti Venkata Narasimha Rao was treated, he was not even allowed. His carriage was not even allowed to go inside the AICC. It's about a mindset, Sumant Raman, that you are not going to treat any other leader with the kind of equality and respect they deserve. So why are you cribbing now?
Look, I have multiple times said that the decision not to pay homage to the late P.V. Narasimha Rao inside the Congress headquarters was wrong. There is no doubt about it. But we are talking today about Jawaharlal Nehru, who lived long before the time before P.V. Narasimha Rao became a prime minister, and he was an builder of institutions. Today, many of the leading institutions of the country were set up by Jawaharlal Nehru. He was a visionary, and he set the country on the path to scientific development. So when you can't build institutions, you want to appropriate them. I guess that might be a need for that, because whether it is the
you want me to list the number of institutions Narendra Modi has built in the last 9 years?
Yeah, please. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably
that could be another debate, by the way.
No, I'd like to know. Like the IITs, like the Indian Institute of Science, like All India Institute of Medical Sciences.
Yeah, I will send
Maybe you could read out a list of institutions.
I leave it to you to defend your government.
So I just want to tell everybody who's watching this.
Please.
Can I come in, please? So I want to say that until Modi ji took over, there were all of 74 airports in India, many of which did not even function. After Modi ji took over, I'm looking at 9 years here, 74 more were added. So this is the progress that we're talking about. As for IITs, IIMs, the number has doubled exactly in the same way as in terms of seats in various respective medical colleges and engineering have gone up. But we're not even talking about that. The fact of the matter is there are 450 government schemes in this country named after Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru. I think it's so sad that in a democracy where public space has to be about democratization and also remembrance of all our leaders, including Gulzari Lal Nanda ji, who was just spoken of twice over.
Okay.
Including Deve Gowda ji,
Gulzari Lal Nanda, I.K. Gujral, Deve Gowda ji, by the way. And
you
Deve
don't know
Gowda is
anything
alive.
because you're a
Former Prime Minister
I
who is alive.
understand.
And
I welcome that.
who in a biography.
But I don't want to be one. I want to know about every Prime Minister of my country. And every artifact and every belonging of
Shazia,
Nehru.
no, let's not get stuck at Gulzari Lal Nanda. There is also I.K. Gujral, there is also H.D. Deve Gowda, who, by the way, supports this. Okay, Shazia.
Only about him.
Shazia. The space argument, Sumant Raman.
And Indira Gandhi.
Yeah. Sumant Raman.
Look at the contribution of any
the
other
space
Prime
argument
Minister
that you gave, whether it could have been at other place. You see, listen. The parliament, the new building had to be. Okay, we are utilizing space. The parliament, the new parliament, had to be in the central capital district. It could not have been anywhere else. You can't have the new Parliament of India in Greater Noida. Similarly, if there had to be a Prime Minister's museum, it had to be in central Delhi so that it's convenient for people who come from... You see, this museum is not just for people of Delhi. This is for the entire country. And for people coming from abroad. It had to be centrally located. And what better place than Teen Murti Bhavan or Nehru Memorial... Then Nehru Memorial, which by the way is still, Sumant Raman, which still has the largest area and section dedicated to India's first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He still occupies the largest space within the setup, within the new setup. So it's not that his space has been taken away. It's just that it is now more representative of India's struggles. And I don't know if you have visited it, Sumant Raman. It's a fantastic place to be, the Prime Minister's Museum. You can soak in an entire day there, spend an entire day and soak in India's journey of nation building from 15th of August 1947 under the helmsmanship of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru till the time that things are unfolding now to this day. Sumant Raman, it's a... but then another argument. Rohan, you wanted to make a last point. I'll give it to you. Just one argument. You see, you travel to United States. There are those memorials of these builders of the United States of America around the Potomac. But then these presidents, from Lincoln to the latest one, Obama, they have their presidential museums dedicated to their work in the White House in their respective hometowns. So, for example, Bill Clinton has his presidential museum and library in Little Rock, Arkansas. George W. Bush has in Dallas in Texas. Obama has his museum in Chicago. And Lincoln Museum is in Springfield, where Lincoln used to live. So there are models available, if you're willing to talk, Rohan, about having Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's museum in Allahabad, of having P.V. Narasimha Rao's museum in Hyderabad, of having Morarji Desai's museum in Bombay. Can we do that then?
You know, then we have the George Washington Center in Washington as well, who was the first president of America. So let's, I'm not here to insult any Prime Minister of India because we have a lot of respect. I'm glad that today everyone's talking about the contributions of Nehru as the first Prime Minister of India, because since 2014, what we've witnessed is the Prime Minister of India has had this tendency to look back in our history and insult our leaders. We, as a congressman, we would never insult Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. We would never insult Mr. I.K. Gujral. We would not insult Mr. Moraj.
But you will never acknowledge and give them space, and that amounts to insult. By the way, nobody means insult to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He continues to occupy the space in the mind of people that India's first Prime Minister, who shepherded the destiny of the country for 17 long years till his death in 1964 did. I believe the question is whether there is a mindset which sort of shadow banned in pre-Twitter era, shadow banned the contribution of other prime ministers, which is now getting center stage, and that's the problem of the Congress party perhaps. On that note, thank you so much, my friends, Shazia Ilmi, Deshratan Nigam, Rohan Somen Mitra and Sumant Raman for joining us in this debate. A short break. On the other side, Editor-in-Chief Arnab Goswami is back with the debate.
देशमुख साहब यहाँ बात कर लगाए देशमुख साहब यहाँ घोषित आपातकाल है। 1000 एडिटर मुझे पकड़ रहे हैं। ये देखिए मुझे पकड़ रहे हैं। देशमुख साहब मेरा खून निकल रहा है, आप देख रहे हैं। देशमुख साहब यहाँ घोषित आपातकाल है, आप पत्रकारों को जेल में डालेंगे, मुझे पकड़ रहे हैं। 1000 रिपब्लिक आप ऐसे पकड़ेंगे मुझे। मेरे मुंह से खून आ रहा है, मेरे मुंह से खून आ रहा है। ये देखिए